Magazine.
Mega Metal Magazine, right. What's up? This is Phil from All That Remains, and you're watching Bradford's interview on Mega Metal Magazine. Cool. I'm going to do it again so my phone isn't making noise at you.
Alright, thanks, man.
One second. What's up? This is Phil from All That Remains, and you're watching Bradford's interview. I knew I wasn't, because I was thinking Mega Metal Magazine. That's what
It's alright.
What's up? This is Phil from All That Remains, and you're watching Bradford's interview on Mega Metal. I'm gonna have a gag reel on this one. What's up? This is Phil from All That Remains. You're watching Bradford's interview on Mega Metal Magazine.
Yeah. Alright, cool. The first thing I wanted to talk about was Overcome, just dropped last month in September, and it's how well received has it been compared to the Fall of Ideals, the Dark and Hard?
It's weird because like with the Fall of Ideals, well, Darkened, like our first week we did 1,000, and we were pumped, you know, because like, you know, we were just getting our start. With the Fall of Ideals, we had a little bit of a foundation laid, but we weren't like a big band, you know. So it's like we were, you know, second stage rotating on Ozfest when it came out, and you know, there was all this hope and man, we think this record's gonna do well, but then, you know, and then when it came out, you know, it did really well, and it still sells a lot of records every week, you know. So there was a lot of expectation from people outside, and the funny thing is when the five of us talk about it, there's certain things that, you know, that we were happy with, and certain things that we weren't happy with when it comes to Overcome. Particularly the time frame that we had to do it, because the label's pushing, it's got to come out, you know, and you know, everyone's like, oh, we want, you know, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, why don't you do this, and nobody wants to say no to an opportunity, nobody wants to say no to a tour, nobody wants to say, you know, no to anything, but at the same time, you still have to have, you know, time to write and record, and it was really, really pressured. But the record, you know, so there's the label pushing, and then there's, you know, the fans and stuff, or everyone has their own conception of what our next record should be, and it's you know, it's like for us there wasn't a whole lot of, you know, what about this and what about that. It was like, we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do this, okay, cool, let's go do it. And it was really laid back from our perspective, even though the actual, you know, all these outside forces were, you know, at work pushing and trying to get their influence and stuff like that, and for us it was just like, whatever, man, we're writing a metal record, you know.
That's awesome. So has it been more well received than like the Fall of Ideals, even, since you guys have brought more singing on after the Fall of Ideals? You know, where you guys started to kind of introduce the more singing style. Has Overcome, since it's kind of, you know, same in that direction, have you guys had the same amount of, you know, like, have you been just as well received as you were on Fall of Ideals?
It's doing really well. I mean, first week we were number 16 on Billboard.
That's good.
You know,
that's real good.
That's something that I never thought that I'd be able to say, that I'd be in the top 20 on Billboard magazine, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
If you work in the mall, when you get time out, you don't want to go to the mall.
That's true. Alright, well, what were we covering just now? We got the intro already, so we were covering the question of just how well received Overcome has been.
It's been good. You know, it's been really cool.
Good.
You know, people, like I was saying, it's like all these outside perspectives and all these outside forces, you know, have their idea of what our next record should sound like.
Right.
The record label has an idea, fans have an idea, and you know, because we are kind of one of those bands that has, you know, fans that like really, you know, more extreme stuff, and fans that like less extreme stuff, and, you know, kind of cover a broad spectrum of metal. Each individual little area is like, oh, I want more of this, I want some of that. I think that, and it's like, only 5 opinions matter. It's ours. And then if you like it, awesome, thank you, cool. If you don't, you know, we're not out to piss you off or anything, but, you know, we're writing, you know, the stuff that we want to write. So
that's a good way to look at it, the only 5 opinions, as opposed to just like going in the direction of what every fan wants, which is going to be directions spread all over the place, like a large spectrum. Especially
when you're dealing with, like, I mean, we're at a point now, you know, where we bring some people in, you know, we're playing stuff, and so to try and please everybody it's ridiculous. You can't do it. So just go ahead and write the stuff that we want to write and have fun with it.
So you guys, on the Fall of Ideals, you guys were on the Saw 3 soundtrack. probably a few other things as well.
Guitar Hero 2.
Guitar
which
Hero
was
2, that's
huge
right.
for us. With 6 was on there. Saw 3 soundtrack. A whole crap load of touring.
Right.
You know.
But how about Overcome? Have you guys got any offers to be on any movies or video games or anything?
Nothing
like
for movies. Right now we're available for Rock Band. Download a 3-song pack. It's
oh, that's cool.
This Calling from the Fall of Ideals, Chiron in 2 weeks from Overcome, and that's really cool. You know, because now we can make drummers sweat the way they make guitar players sweat for.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah. And that's probably only the 360 then for downloading, right?
Well, yeah, I got a 360, absolutely. Yeah. But it gets on. I think it's on PS3 as well for the PlayStation Network.
Do you play your own songs or?
No, I don't really play Rock Band or
kind of hard to do it on here.
They're terrible. I mean, I'm terrible at them. I'm so bad at that follow the dots kind of thing.
Right.
I'm terrible at it. If I play medium and I get through a song, I'm ready to throw a party. Put me in front of some Halo or something like that, I'll be all right. But I mean, even just about any first-person shooter, I'll play and enjoy. But
right, that's all you talk about. It seems like on MySpace or one of the main things, politics and Halo.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of hobbies.
Right.
It's like all that remains. I feel pretty strongly about certain aspects of politics and stuff like that, and then I like video games.
So you really like Sarah Palin a lot, which is good.
No, I don't know that I like her. I was impressed when she came out with
when you
the
wrote
way
that,
she held herself. I was impressed with the fact that she's hot, because she is. For 44 years old,
That's
that woman
true.
looked damn good. That was really what it is. I mean, I hate to say I'm going to abstain from voting, but I might.
No, I feel the same way,
I
man.
really don't feel like, either candidate is what the country needs.
It's just like, am I making the right or the wrong choice either way?
It's like, which is going to be the I mean, it's getting to the point where it's getting beyond the lesser of the two evils. It's like, especially when you're dealing with the two options we have with Barack Obama and with Senator McCain. It's they're both senators.
Right.
They're both,
exactly.
Their entire political career has been make my constituents happy. Well, when your constituents are the United States of America, and not just people from your area, you can't make everybody happy all the time. You have to lead. I mean, out of the past, 5 presidents, I don't think we've had a senator. I think it's been 30 some odd years since we had a senator.
Really? Wow.
Reagan, Bush 1, Bush 2, Clinton, and whoever's next, the first senator, in God knows how long.
So you don't think it'll go too well, then?
I don't know that it won't go to. I don't know. I mean, I think that it's going to be more of the same stuff.
Right.
I don't know that it's going to be. I don't know that it's going to be significantly worse if either or gets in there, and I don't know that it'll be any better.
So maybe withstanding from voting, it sounds like it's gonna be pretty complicated. What about what do you think about all the economy right now and all that? Is it affecting you guys at all? Or?
I don't. Well, yeah. I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, the price of fuel, price of gas.
Right.
I mean, you spend $25,000, a month on fueling a bus.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
$25,000.
you figure it gets X amount of gallons or miles to the gallon in the United States of America is friggin' big.
Yeah.
So I mean, so it does affect us, and it affects how many people come to shows. I mean, that's why I think tonight's show is like $17-18. We try and keep them.
That's pretty cheap. That's really good for a show.
For 2 headlining acts. I mean, it's a really good price, and really we try and keep it down because we know that $20 for one ticket. If you're going with your girl, it's $40, and then you go ahead and you throw in probably another $20 for gas, and you're going to want to have a couple drinks. And most places are charging roughly $5 a gallon or $5 a beer when you include a tip for 2 people. There's another $30-40 bucks. If you want to buy a CD or you want to buy a shirt, that's $150, $175. So I mean, I know what it's like, and I'm not a stranger to or I'm not disconnected from how hard it is to how much effort it takes to come out to a show. That's why I really appreciate when we have shows like, I mean, this tour's been amazing. I don't think we've had any attendances under 500, and if so, maybe 1 or 2 on a Wednesday, in South Dakota maybe.
Wow.
So I mean, it's been really, really cool, and I understand how difficult it is to come out here. You know, I come out to a show, so that's why I appreciate every last person that shows up. Thank you so much. You know,
that's really good. It's good to hear that you actually appreciate that, you know, and everything. So, okay, well, back on the subject of Overcome, it seems like the singing style has changed pretty dramatically from the Followed by Dills, almost. Like, just like the singing seems almost higher or something, just a little bit different.
Actually, it's lower.
It's lower?
It's
oh,
funny.
really?
It's funny that you say that because it is lower. Like, I mean, I was hitting A, and I think I actually hit a like a G-A range on the last one. We came down a full step, you know. Last record was D standard, and now we're at it's either C or C sharp. I don't know what the tune's to. Either C or C sharp. I'm not sure.
Right.
But either way, you know, it came down, so everything's.
Do you like it better like that, or?
I like it. I love the record. I think it's awesome. It's a little easier for me to sing that stuff. I mean, the higher you get, obviously I have a pretty deep voice, you know. So the higher you get, the more difficult it is, and the more difficult it is to do every single night after night. So I like the fact that it came down a little bit, and I completely love, you know, the record and the stuff that we did on it.
Yeah, the record sounds amazing. It's like one of the best new records I've heard come out this year, honestly. Like, I was really surprised how good it came out. There was one track in particular that I was listening to that sounded a lot like a Pantera song. I'm trying to think of how it goes.
A Song for the Hopeless.
Is that
the clean guitar?
Kind of like This Love? Is that?
Yeah. And that was kind of what we were thinking too. We were like, you know, let's do something that's kind of like an ode to Pantera style.
It sounds awesome though too. It's within its own range. It's not like, you know, it's not mimicking Pantera, but you can really tell that that's one of the tracks.
Yeah. I think that a lot of our stuff, if you hear a lot of influence when you hear stuff, you tend to hear stuff that's more European,
right?
But stylistically, like the way we put our songs together and stuff like that, I think that we definitely have a much more American style. You know?
And Believe in Nothing, the last track of the album, is that a cover or an originally written?
It's a cover. It's actually Nevermore.
Oh, Nevermore?
From Dead Art in the Dead World. And, you know, we picked out that song just because it's, I mean, Nevermore is unquestionably metal. You know, I don't think anyone's out there that's going to say Nevermore is not a metal band. And it's also a different style than we've ever done. You know, we've never done a song that was, you know, that kind of song, and so it was a lot of fun to do. I had tons of fun singing it. You know, I'm really happy with the way it came out.
Yeah, the vocals, like, it came out, that was a really good song on the album. I didn't really expect it. I saw Believe in Nothing, but I didn't know it was a cover until I heard it. I'm like, that's a cover. It's really good. What's your favorite track off the album so far that really stands out to you?
I'm having a lot of fun doing the singing stuff, so I like Forever in Your Hands. I like 2 Weeks.
2 Weeks is all singing though.
There's
no screaming on that at all.
Well, there is. It's just
it's
a little bit quiet. It's in the verses. If you listen, there's actually a layer, which we did throughout a lot of the record, where there'll be a screamed layer where I'm kind of pitching it, and then there'll be like a sung verse, or I mean a sung part, and we'll just plop them over each other, and then you just mixing levels and stuff like that. But there's I think the only song that doesn't have any screaming is Believe in Nothing, and that's just because Believe in Nothing comes
right, yeah, it's a cover, so.
Yeah. But yeah, there's screaming in you know, whether people, you know, can hear it or not, there's screaming in every song on the record.
Really? Oh, yeah, I was thinking that it didn't have any screaming. I was like, that's an All That Remains song without any screaming. That's kind of different. It's not bad, it's different, but I guess there is. So.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, the last record, I mean, we had a death metal song, you know?
True.
It's like, and we cover, you know, we've got stuff that's, you know, that takes influence from Cannibal Corpse or Morbid Angel or I mean, the first thing that I thought, the first song on the record, Before the Damned, the verses, the first thing I thought when I heard the thing is I want to do something like Glenn Benton would do from Deicide. And then, funny enough, when I brought the record home, when I came home from Florida and I brought the record with me, I was showing a guy that was across the street. He was in my first band ever with me, Perpetual Doom, old death metal band.
Right.
And as soon as I put it in, and the vocals started, he's like, "Dude, that sounds like Glenn Benton." I was like,
"That's awesome. That's what I
was
was going for." Yeah.
But it's like, that's the thing. It's like, there's a part on the record that when we were doing it was a singing part, and when we were doing it, we were like, we should do it like Justin Timberlake, Michael Jackson, you know, and have that kind of feel. And then on the same record, there's a part that was inspired by, you know, Deicide. So I mean, that kind of shows, you know, like where our inspiration come from. It doesn't, and there's, you know, there's a song on the record that is unquestionably, you know, right out of Dawkins' book. You know, so it's like we listen to all different kinds of metal, and we're okay with letting all different kinds of metal. I mean, look at the bands that we've talked about when we're talking about, you know, trying to find things that it sounds like. Deicide, Pantera, Dawkins, Nevermore, and Justin Timberlake.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's like,
you know, I mean, it's like, and
diverse.
that's the way we want to be. We all listen to tons of different kind of music, and
we're all going to draw from that too.
Yeah, we're not afraid to. I mean, there's a song to beat on it. I don't know if you can find it or not, but you know, Jason played a song to beat. It's like, it's all good. Music is, there's no bad style of music. There's just bad music, and you know, if someone doesn't like our record, cool. You know,
still comes out All That Remains, even with all those other
you know, exactly,
inspirations.
So,
that's really cool.
That's what I'm most excited about the record. I think is the diversity, the range of diversity, and how much stuff we do, and still write songs that make sense as a song.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
No, I think the album art also fits the album pretty well too. It came out really well. I like the album art a lot.
Yeah, Carson did a really good job. Carson Slovak did the cover, and you know, he was really, really easy to work with. There was an idea that he'd sent over, and I was kind of like, you know, I was like, well, why don't you try this? And we were talking about doing all kinds of things, and he's like, nah, I'm scrapping it, starting over, I'm not happy with it. I'm like, okay, so, and then he sent us over what would become, you know, after a little bit of tweaking, what would become Overcome, and you know, it was real easy. You know, it was real low stress, real easy, real cool.
So what's that supposed to represent? Like, what's the album cover representing then?
You know, when we were talking about it, I was like, you know, the idea for the title and the cover, I kind of wanted to portray the feeling of, you know, everyone's got stuff that they have to deal with every day in their life, and no outside force. Very rarely does some outside force come in and say, hey, I'm gonna make this easier, or that problem you have, I'm gonna fix it for you. You know, so it comes from inside you, and so you just gotta stand up and say, you know what, I'm gonna take care of the problem.
And is that what most of the album's written about? Is different things like that, or do you what is your range of like?
Just stuff that happens to me, you know, stuff that I see or stuff that's going on in my life when I'm writing stuff. Everything I write's always it's got to be something that I've experienced or something that I know about.
Just you, or do they contribute on that?
No, I write over those. But yeah, because I mean I have to be singing it, so I gotta believe it, and if I don't believe it, people are gonna see through it.
Right, and then at that point you're writing false lyrics, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. And then you might as well, you know, you might as well let someone else do it for you. You know?
True. As far as tracks like Before the Dam, and then how does it pronounce? It's not Chiron. That's it. Yeah. What were you kind of writing about in those two songs? Because they're probably
I don't really explain like what the songs are about and stuff like that. Just because when I hear a song, like I'll take something from it, and it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter what the writer was writing about, because it's what it means to you. Exactly, it's about how it affects you. That goes for anybody. As soon as when you write a song and you release it for people to consume or to listen to and stuff, it's not yours anymore. It's theirs. Because you ask anybody, they can go ahead and say, oh, that song reminds me of. You know what I mean? All the time, like, oh, that song reminds me of this summer, or last summer, or that song reminds me of, you know, the winter when blah blah blah, or that song reminds me of the time that you know. It's like it all means something to someone, and that I don't know what they're talking about, but you know, I'm not going to go ahead and say, oh, no, that song, you shouldn't be thinking that because this song's about this. I'm sure there are dudes out there or people out there that listen to Rise Against and think, man, that song reminds me of this party I was at, and I got so fucked up, and I was puking, but it was such a great time. And if you tell the singer, I mean, he's completely straight edge,
right,
and he's, you know, he's not the kind of dude. He doesn't, or I don't know him, but he doesn't strike me as the kind of dude that would be into going out and raging and partying. But like, you know, it's like, you know,
it's like, but
that's what it means to him, you know. So,
do you get asked that question a lot then too, about what each song individually represents?
Yeah.
Well, that's a really good answer, though.
It's the same answer I give all the time.
I mean, no, that's good, though. I mean, that's, you know, that should be how it is anyways. You're right. It really is the fan music at that point. You wrote it, but I mean, they adapt to it at that point.
So it isn't mine anymore. It's yours.
Well, So, did you draw any, like, I mean, was there any, like, movies or video games that inspired you a little bit on the album at all? I mean, like,
No,
did
it's
you...
all stuff that it's all like Dave Mustaine said one time. I read an interview or heard an interview. He said he's like, if you write about events, the songs are dated. If you write about feelings, they're timeless, and it's true. You can take any song from 1964. And if it's about, you know, the political movement or something, or the political climb or what was going on, then you'll know it's a 60s song. But if you read the lyrics from a song that you've never heard, and it's about, you know, whatever, like, you know, everyone knows what they're talking about when they say, you know, everyone knows where the term rock and roll came from. You know what I mean? It's like, it was about having sex, you know, it was a term that they used to, about screwing and stuff like that. It's like, those kind of things, like relationships and feelings and stuff like that, it stops being about a dated specific time frame, because people have always had emotions and feelings, you know, as long as they've been people.
That's good. Don't make it timeless. Make it timeless. Don't put a date on it. That's kind of cool. You don't see very many songs, it seems like, that are written about specific events too often. I guess there are some songs, even for Trivium, for instance. One of their songs.
I don't know
Specifically,
lyrics,
so,
but I mean, Trivium. I don't get. I like the stuff that I know about Trivium. I don't get where.
How the guys been towards you on the tour
really
so
cool.
far? Really
Really
cool.
nice dudes, yeah. Really good.
You guys have been on tour with them before, though, right?
Yep. This is actually our 4th tour together.
And then the Human Abstract was on tour with you guys in
We've
Warped Tour, right?
We've done a lot of touring with those kids.
Yeah.
We did Warped Tour, and we did Headliner. We did Warped Tour. We did a bunch of one-offs in the Northeast with them, and now we're doing this one with them. So.
Does it seem like the crowd, like, how, you know, really adapts to both bands? Like, they really like the Human Abstract and all their bands, so you see more diversity when it comes to the fans?
I don't know. I mean, I don't. Nowadays, it's really tough. I mean, at least I don't sit there and look at kids and say, oh, well, those kids like that kind of music, and those kids like that kind of music.
Kids from the Human Abstract.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I would assume that if you know, if they keep coming to see us with the Human Abstract, they probably got to like the Human Abstract, you know. Or if they keep coming to see the Human Abstract and stick around to see us, then they got to like us.
They're chanting the lyrics, and they're like fans of both. That's cool. So it's not too diverse. I mean, I've just seen a lot of tours lately where, like, for instance, I saw Hatebreed and Typo Negative together, and I was like, that's kind of a weird tour, you know? And then 3 Inches of Love is at the beginning, so it's like, you know, I just see a lot of tours like that, so I'm wondering, you know, I see people leave before, you know, the last band comes on because, you know, they're just there for their own band, so I was wondering if you've been seeing that on this tour at all. But
not so much. I mean, every once in a while, you know, you'll see it more during the week than you will on the weekends.
Yeah, because people had to go to work and everything,
Yeah, you know, I haven't noticed a whole lot of shows where when we play last, you know, there's significantly fewer people, or when Trivium plays last, there's significantly fewer people. I mean, from what I hear, their Shogun's going to do, you know, right around what the Fall of Ideals did. I mean, in the States, Trivium and us are pretty much essentially the same size band, you know, for all practical purposes. You know, I think they're going to do 26,000 of Shogun. We did like 28 in the Fall of Ideals, or, you know, of Overcome, you know, so.
That's good.
You know, it's not really. There's not a situation where you know, it's certainly not one of those things where every night that we close, everyone stays until the end, and then every night that Trivium closes, everyone leaves after us or anything like that, or vice versa. That's not the case at all, you know. So it's a good time. Really cool.
No, they were just talking about. To me, they were talking about magazines, like U.S. magazines, not really doing too much press coverage on them. Is it like that over here too? And then a lot of the European ones do more press coverage on you guys.
Well, for them over in Europe, they're massive.
Right.
They're you know, they're huge. They bring 3,000-4,000 people a night, you know, or more. And specifically in the UK, in Europe, they're big. They're probably, you know, 2,000-3,000, and then in the UK they're probably 3,000 to 5,000
That's
a night.
pretty good.
And it's not like that for us over there at all. But I mean, their situation with Roadrunner over there, and Roadrunner UK is massive and just owns everything. You know, I mean, if there's a band on Roadrunner in the UK and they want them to go ahead and they're like, okay, we like this stuff, we're going to back it, they're going to be a big band. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Whereas, you know, we don't have our label over there is one dude. His name's Duncan. You know,
One
So,
dude, really?
One guy.
Wow. Does he even
Yeah.
have like his own like
He's got
business?
an office. Well, it's Prosthetic Records, but Prosthetic
Right.
just opened an office over there.
Wow.
And so I think there's 2 guys over there now, but you know, for the past 2 years it was one dude over there. So it's very, very different.
Kind of hard to get press coverage out there. Then
Yeah,
I'm sure.
it's a lot. I mean, and he covers Europe and the UK. you
Wow.
know, So it's like,
Wow.
there's Roadrunner Germany, there's Roadrunner UK,
Yeah.
there's Roadrunner that covers all over the place. So it's definitely a different dichotomy or a different dynamic over there. So
Well, as far as like U.S. magazines, have you guys got much press coverage as far as the
they
Fall
take
By
care of
Deals
us.
and
They take care of us.
Overcome?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're getting we got a big feature coming out in Revolver, the new Revolver that just came out. We were on the cover of Metal Edge.
That's
They had a
awesome.
big old, in fact, it was funny because it was the first time that, excuse me a second. What's that over? Find my shit.
You gotta save it.
I'm trying to find the controller. Right in front of me. There you go. I got it. The power in the bus is, I don't know why it does this. Oh, come on, I'm fighting. I think I'm fighting a boss. Oh, no, I'm in an elevator.
It's cool, dude. I know if I lost my game or something.
Yeah, it's a bummer. And also, like, it'll not only the save, it'll also, like, every time he turns on the bus and switches the power from the bus power to the generator power,
Right.
there's a surge.
And
then this thing starts flashing red and freaking out. I'm like, I don't want to front
Yeah,
that.
it's like let's not
Yeah.
have another problem.
Just turn it off so that way you don't have to worry about it. And I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know if he's just, he could be doing anything from turning on the bus so that way he has more power so he can fill up the air pressure so the doors open faster to, making,
Yeah.
So, yeah, seriously, like,
Yeah.
they're slowing down, man. It's like, and I'm like,
It's kind of like a Star Wars movie, though.
kinda, yeah.
We're 5 minutes. All right, cool. Do you have anything you really want to talk about Overcome anymore? Anything else that you really want to say about it compared to?
Go check it out.
Let's go check it out.
So, go to the MySpace page or, go pick it up, listen to your friend's copy or whatever.
Hopefully, the next Guitar Hero might feature it or something too.
Yeah, maybe that'd be
If you guys will end up on like Saw 6 or something. Are you guys
Who
gonna be
knows?
on Saw 5 or all?
No, not that I know.
That's cool. Well, I saw the music video just recently. Actually, I just saw the Saw version of it or whatever.
Pretty brutal, right?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Actually, I was watching with my mom. And she's like, "It's pretty gross."
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It was really cool that they took it and they just did like the whole. They only had one. There was only one actor in it that was
Yeah.
cut in from the movie. It was just when he was getting his body pulled apart. So good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many videos are there for that song specifically?
There's 2. There's the Saw cut and then there was the regular cut.
That's
right.
Was that you guys were featured like on the lyric or the credits to that song? Wasn't This Colin played at the very beginning?
Yeah.
Or?
During it was the second song in the credits.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, which is cool. It's a little too much screaming probably for the first song in the credits, but
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's it's pretty brutal.
it's
So.
pretty brutal.
All right. Cool. Well, I was just gonna see if you had any last things to say to your fans about anything else. Go pick up all the albums. Overcome.
Yeah. Cheers.